thank y'all for, again, for being here for the swearing-in ceremony. Appreciate the officials that participated with us. And look forward to a good 4 years. The group here is gonna be great for me to work with. They've already threatened me with my life because I went too long in my comments, so it's gonna be a good 4 years.
Yep.
We do have a quorum, all are in attendance. We'll let the minutes reflect that our Assistant County Engineer is standing in for Lynn Ross, County Engineer. Thank you, Ron, for being here.
Yes, sir.
There are several items that we're required to take care of today relative to organizational meeting and our coming 4 years. That includes the establishment of a meeting location, dates, and time. The commissioners had conversation earlier about what would work for us, and I'm gonna ask Ms. Karen to share what those are in case I forget, and then we'll act on those as a group and make sure that we're in agreement.
I believe it's the will of the group that we continue to meet on the second and fourth Tuesday of each month at 9 a.m.
At this building.
At the commission, in the commission chambers and located here in the admin building.
And that first meeting is required by state law. The second meeting is optional, but I think the group concurs that that second meeting has been beneficial. It means that we're not required to call as many special called meetings as might otherwise be necessary.
There's two exceptions, November and December.
November and December, we'll only have one meeting each of those months because of the holidays. So today's meeting is the first regular meeting of the month of November, and then the first regularly scheduled meeting in December. Otherwise, no other meetings unless there is a need for an emergency call meeting. So commissioners, y'all heard that. We'll entertain a motion to set that schedule for meetings unless you choose to do something different. What are your wishes?
I'll make a motion.
There's a motion.
Second.
A second. Anybody have any discussion on that or any comments? Won't be contrary. I will mention one other thing that came up in our discussion the other day. There's always an interest in trying to take our meetings to the people, meaning meet other than during working hours at 9 o'clock on a working day, and also in different locations because we do have a large county, over 1,000 square miles, and it's not convenient for all people to come here. And we have tried that from time to time, and I think the commission is committed to attempting to make that happen from time to time going forward. It just won't be part of our decision today. I'll say we have a motion and a second. If there's nothing else, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. The motion carries. So we have established when we will meet and the time and the location. Second item of business relative to our organizational meeting is election of a chairman pro tem. So this person's duties are, as you might expect, to chair meetings in the event of the chairman's absence. And they also will have responsibility for signing on some documents, some checks. And so in approving this person, we are approving their signature on behalf of the county commission. And it also will include participation in human resource issues, signing off on certain pay raises and so forth that a department head might submit for review. So that don't necessarily come before the whole commission. So this is an important spot. We'll open the floor for nominations for Chairman Pro Tem.
I nominate Ken Northey. Second.
There's a nomination and a second. Ken's been here a long, long time, so he's at least been around and knows the ropes.
I don't know about all the rope, but I know some of it.
Okay. Any other nominations? If not, let's vote by acclamation in support of Ken's nomination. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, same sign. So Kenneth Northey will be Chairman Pro Tem. Thank you, Kenneth.
Yes, sir.
Historically, the Covington County Commission has designated that person, and it's been for the entire 4-year term. It could change, and Ken says, I don't want to do this anymore. We certainly could come back and revisit that, but historically, we've done it for a full 4-year term. Next is adoption of rules of order. Commissioners, on page 2 through 15, you have rules of order that were sent out to you earlier by email. This is the base of this is what we were operating under for the past 4 years. But there have been some changes. Tried to identify all those proposed changes in red for you see, things that we were trying to clean up or make a little easier or better for the operation of the commission. One area that, did generate a little bit of feedback, I know, was on, the number of folks that could address the commission. The old rules of order were unclear. They said no more than 2 people on an issue. I think the consensus was that that'd be 2 people on any side of an issue. And so we have expanded it to say 2 on any side. And I guess if there were a 3-sided issue, we'd have 6 people speak. That can always be, changed by suspending the rules by vote of the commission itself. And so we might consider that from time to time. But the general rules, so that we can plan our meetings, are that we'll have 2 people on any side of an issue, no more than 2. The commission is not a public forum, but we ask, other things in these rules indicate that we're asking that people that are speaking to address the commission be addressing an issue that's before the commission or likely to come before the commission. We're not wanting folks to get up and talk about the presidential election and how good or bad that was, that sort of thing. This is not the appropriate forum for that. So we try to keep decorum. Commissioners, do you have any other ideas, any other things that within these rules that are proposed that you'd like to address or change? Or if not, we can act on the whole group,
Well,
whole set.
Well, I've
Yes,
got,
ma'am.
if you look up the one that's state stamp 11,
11? Yes, ma'am.
and it may be me, but number 2,
Mhm.
B2, that's a little confusing to me. I would
Okay.
ask y'all maybe consider and allow me to clean it up, not to
Yeah.
change the substance of what it says, but
Okay.
clean it up, because
Absolutely.
it kind of, the way it reads to me is, there's a form provided when you get here before the public comment section, but you need to, and then if you go to the next sentence, it says that you need to have that submitted before 5 p.m. on the Wednesday prior to the meeting.
Right.
And
So
if it's just me, I'm okay with it, but it's confusing. I've read it 3
yeah.
times.
So you look at the first line. Looks like you can walk in today
Right.
and ask. Okay, that makes sense. Anybody opposed to that? Again,
no.
we're gonna end up when she gets through. We'll end up with you must turn in your request to speak by 5 o'clock on Wednesday prior. The reason for that is because we have to send out notices under the Alabama Open Meetings Law. We have to send notice of our agenda, and that goes out of our office here on Thursday. So we cut it off the day before. We're required by law to send that notice out. So it seems like a long time in advance, but it has worked pretty well. So, yeah, so she'll clean that up. Any other things that you've noticed? Or questions? If not, we'll entertain a motion to approve as, subject to the improvement by our attorney.
I'll make a motion.
All right, motion and second. I think this will get us where we need to be. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carries. So those rules of procedure are adopted, Ms. Carey.
Thank you.
Yes, ma'am. Makes your job easier, doesn't it?
It does.
Rules of procedure, rules of order, whatever. Anybody else have anything related to the organizational stuff that we may have overlooked? All right, if not, let's move to D, which is approval of the minutes of the October 27th regular meeting. I know at least one of us were not here for that meeting, but actually he sat in the audience, so he can join in the fun. You've had a chance to review those minutes. If there's a motion to approve those, if there are no corrections, that would be appropriate at this time.
I'll make a motion to approve.
Okay.
I'll second.
Motion and second. Anybody else find anything that we need to correct in there? If not, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. All right, those are approved. And next is item E, approval of accounts payable and payroll for October 2020. Those are on pages 16 through 42 in your packet. And I know you've had a chance to review those, probably did that over dinner last night. I have to ask Lynn and others if they enjoyed that conversation, but is there a motion to approve those items as listed?
I'll make that motion.
All right,
I'll second it.
motion and second. If there are no questions on that, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. That motion carried with unanimous support. All right, next is an item that Karen is bringing. We'll ask her to share some background on item F.
Okay, that request for proposal for procurement cards comes from the Alabama Code 11360, which gives us guidance on what we're allowed to do and how we go about with our purchases. And so asking y'all to allow us to send out those proposals to get the procurement cards that we can disperse to the different departments of the county for use for purchases.
So I'm not familiar with the term procurement card really, so then maybe somebody else not as well. Basically, it's a credit card type of device that has some further restrictions and limits on it, so it better controls cost.
And spending,
Sir?
and spending.
And spending, that's right. It better controls spending, ultimately getting to the cost. So it gives the administration a better oversight of spending. So we're asked to approve a request for proposals, and then we'll get those back, review those, and bring that to a future commission meeting when they are brought back in for action by the commission. But we do need authority to request the proposals. We anticipate those requests being sent out to the invitations to propose being sent to local banks and others really across the state and country that provide those kind of services. There are not a lot of folks that do that.
Of course, we will have procedures that we'll have to adopt when we implement this.
Okay.
Make a motion.
There is a motion. Is there a second?
Also.
Okay. Anything else? Anybody have questions for Ms. Karen on that? This is a response to a recently completed audit, to be honest with you, where we're just trying to comply better. We have had credit cards for many, many years, and this is kind of a new request from the state auditors. All right, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. That motion carries, so those invitations will be sent out. Commissioners, page 43 has a list of the departments and activities of the commission. We've had some general conversation over the last couple of years about how we can improve the commission's activities, the commission's and commissioners' involvement in the business of the county. And this is an effort at that. We had a brief discussion, I'm sorry to make a record. Had a brief discussion Monday about this idea, and I think there's a consensus that this would be good. One thing I'd like you to add, I guess add it to the fourth column unless you want to put it in one of the other columns, would be cats. Do I have that on there? I don't think so. If you would add cats, that was an oversight I caught this morning. So
Add it.
let's put it in the fourth column.
Okay.
Thank you.
So these are areas of responsibility, and I know city councils often are assigned duty to, this councilman is the liaison with public safety, and this councilman is the liaison with Road and Bridge Department. This one is sanitation, and so on. Well, we have a lot of areas of responsibility. It's easy to overlook how many we have when you start listening. I'm sure we have a couple that are missed here. But the idea was that we ask each of the commissioners to take on a particular column, for lack of a better word, of areas that they would take extra responsibility for during the year, and they would join with the chairman or with the administrator or a department head to talk about issues of concern for those departments and agencies. I think it'll bring the commissioners more into the day-to-day activity, and I think it'll serve the county well. The idea was to do it for a year. We'll look at it. If there's no opposition, we'll just tick down to the next column, and so over the period of 4 years, every commissioner will be involved with every department. It doesn't mean that you're not able to be involved anyway, day to day, just like you are now, but I think this will increase your involvement and participation. So what are your thoughts on that, commissioners?
I think it's a great idea. I think it would. I think it would give an opportunity for each commissioner to kind of work as a liaison between each group, stop some of the confusion maybe that we have.
I know in the past, Tony, that you kind of have an area of interest, a particular commissioner, and so that's what we looked at for 4 years, and I just think that we have a broader responsibilities. I do think the commission will be better as a group, as a whole, so.
And it doesn't mean that there's no input from the other commissioners in any
That is correct.
department, so.
Yeah, so.
It's not alienating anyone.
So I know Tony has a long history in law enforcement and a lot of interest, so I would think that he's gonna stay just as engaged and sheriff knows issues. But if we do this by District 1, 2, 3, 4, then he's gonna be in economic development, community development, schools, education, state agencies, USDA, contract review, and law enforcement, or whatever, so. Anybody else have thoughts on it, or you wanna?
I think it's a great idea, and like you said, especially rotating it every year, it gives you a chance to go to another area to kinda, like you said, work along that and become a liaison there and kinda get a better knowledge of the working of the county.
So there's kind of a catch-all, like in District 3, the third column. State agencies, you know, that could be any number of folks, but if they're calling and wanting to set a meeting, often they're gonna contact the administrator, so, you know, we don't even know who those are at this point, but Conservation, Natural Resources, or whoever, and would make sure that that responsible commissioner would be invited to the table for that meeting, so it'll force us to be more inclusive, which was I think it was a problem I had this last 4 years, so it's really addressing some problems I've felt, so. All right, we'll entertain a motion to approve this as presented if you choose to, and we can provide the list of these rather than name them on the record. We'll just provide you a list afterwards, so. And I think the idea was just do it by district, so column 1 is District 1, column 2, District 2, District 3, District 4, and then we'll rotate again about November at the end of this year.
I'll make that motion.
There's a
I'll
motion. Second. Any other questions or concerns on this? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Great, I think that's good. Thank y'all so much. And we're almost through, so if you hang with us, we'll take another recess for about a month, so. Commissioners, you have on page 44 and 45, the holiday schedule, proposed holiday schedule for 2021. I hadn't counted them this year, but I suppose there are probably 14 days there that we offer to employees.
Nothing has changed.
There has been nothing changed. I'm just gonna throw out an idea for consideration, not for this list. I would like for us to adopt this as submitted, but just for consideration. I would love to see us consider taking Good Friday. You know, and if we trade it against something else that's on the list, that'd be great. Easter has become a larger part of the holiday, certainly an important holiday to our families and communities, so I'd like for us to look at that in the future.
Okay.
But there is a list there, 14 days. So is there a motion to approve that list or adopt that list?
I'll make that motion.
Okay.
Second.
Motion and second. Anybody else have a question on it? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, make the same sign. It is approved.
And
Commissioners,
we would,
go
you know, make a comment on
Yeah.
the holidays that's scored. Sometimes they fall in the an odd day. And so if it's feasible, you know, we'll try to give an extra day for that. Make sure everybody gets their day and it don't interfere with something else. I mean, these are the days, but if it arises, which we've done in the past, we've
Try to
went
be
back
flexible. Yeah.
and added a day or, you know, help accommodate our workers, because that's what we want to do.
That's right. All right, Commissioners, anybody else have a comment, or Kenneth, anything else? District 2, Michael, anything else? Sean? Any other comment or item of business? Tom? No, sir. Ms. Stephanie?
We have a ride night at the arena tomorrow night for anybody that would like to come, and this is the first time we've ever done this, and we're super excited, so thank you, Karen, for
She made that happen,
heading
didn't she?
that up. She
Yeah.
did.
It'll be barrels and poles.
So there'll be barrels and poles, and
Tomorrow night.
the community at large is invited to come out and enjoy the evening. You can rub shoulders with your neighbors and friends, family. If you have a horse, bring it out, and for
Ask that
some
lady.
amount, $5, that will get you in the door with your horse, and you can participate in the events that are going on. But it's just a family night, so it's not a competition, just fun. A good way for the community to get to enjoy the arena.
That's right.
All right. And I will tell you this related to the arena. I know Karen had 1 or 2 phone calls this week about booking some things, so she's staying busy with it. 4 calls this week. Let's don't sell it short. So there's a lot of interest, and hopefully COVID will get behind us soon, and we'll you'll see activity pick back up. And,
And Alabama Junior Rodeo will be in Luverne Saturday and Sunday. It starts Saturday at 10 until we finish, which is usually around 4.
Okay.
And then Sunday they have Cowboy Church at 8, and then the rodeo starts at 9, and it's free of charge.
and then later in the year, we hope they'll be here for their state finals.
Yes.
So,
In
same
June.
group, so you can see them up there and cheer them on and bring them on into Covington County, so
And let me say this, if you haven't been in that arena in the last 3 months, go.
it looks good.
It's totally, totally different
Yeah.
than it was. Beautiful, looks great.
Absolutely. Ron, do you have anything at all?
No, sir.
Okay. Miss Rachel? Okay. If, Eric? Thank all of you for the good work you do. If there is not, Karen?
No, sir.
Okay. If there is nothing else, a motion to adjourn would be in order. Thank you, Michael. Stand adjourned.